The development agenda adopted by nations of the world at the UN summit will mark a radical change in the way the world addresses many serious development challenges it faces. And this time, the 2030 agenda has both the ambition and the realism to tackle these challenges in a new, holistic, and universal manner. It is clear that we will only be able to find effective long-term solutions to ending poverty, inequality, and environmental disruption if all nations, regardless of their income level, and working together to implement SDGs in an integrated manner. We know from the economic history, policy, and the practice that industrialization is an indispensable ingredient of the sustainable growth with long-lasting and widely shared social benefits, and virtually no country in the history of the world has been able to move from the low-income status to a high level of economic and social development without building a strong industrial sector. We at the United Nations Industrial Development Organization believe that the path to sustainable development is through inclusive and sustainable industrialization. And the African Union Commission, UN ASA, and the ECA think no differently. And so do many other development practitioners. Indeed, it is only through a strong process of industrial development that poverty will finally be eradicated in Africa. I'm proud and encouraged to see that the 2030 agenda recognizes the centrality of industrialization. We all know for sustainable development and realizing the SDG 9, Goal 9 on inclusive and sustainable industrialization, together with innovation and infrastructure, will bring employment, economic diversification, enhanced value chain, and technological change and innovation linkages within and across the economies. The opportunity is here for us to grasp, and the time is right. Time is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe I speak for all the distinguished guests and the speakers present here today when I echo from this room the 2030 Agenda and the Addis Ababa Action Plan and a call upon governments, donors, investors, and practitioners to channel financial resources and a political will towards jobs, high income, and productive activities, as well as the technologies and the practices and the respect environment and foster social inclusion. We call on them to support and realize SDG 9 to make inclusive and sustainable industrialization the driver for growth and sustainable development. Distinguished guests and colleagues, the 2030 Agenda is universal, and the change it will drive will be significant also for middle income and rich countries. Inclusive and sustainable industrialization will be no exception. But as we look at the developing world, we must recognize the urgency for an agenda for Africa to industrialize. As a Director General of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, but also as a citizen of the developing world with a deep personal commitment to Africa and a strong faith in its future, I'm here today to reiterate the validity of the dream of a flourishing continent in which all its extraordinary resources, both natural and human, can finally be harnessed effectively to generate lasting prosperity for all. And for Africa, the possibility in this new world economy are truly enormous. Today, the new African firms are creating value, exporting throughout the world, and by the way, they're employing large number of women and young people. I'm proud to say that UNIDO has always had Africa at the center of its heart and most importantly, its operations. Today, we are already realizing the vision of SDG 9 on inclusive and sustainable industrialization in Africa through our pilot programs for country partnerships in 2 least developed countries in Africa, Ethiopia and Senegal. Like UNIDO and other leading agencies with whom I have the privilege of sharing my table today are taking important steps towards achieving the scale of investment that is required to support African development. The new Partnership for Africa's Development, NEPA, and the African Mining Vision and the Action Plan for the Accelerated Industrial Development for Africa, just to name a few, are other promising mechanisms that have been introduced to mobilize the multi-stakeholder conditions to promote industrialization. And distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, UNIDO is proud to associate with such remarkable programs and organizations. Important developments are taking place in African economies, and the rest of the world finally seems ready to fully commit to support the continent in its efforts to defeat hunger and grow out of poverty. But I strongly believe that we need to go much further. We need to operationalize the SDG and SDG 9 in particular for Africa's industrialization. I'm therefore calling today for the global community to come together and to commit a decade of African industrialization, 2016 to 2025, with the aim of placing the African continent irrevocably on the path towards inclusive and sustainable industrial development, and to reconfirm the unwavering commitment of our 4 organizations to Africa's industrialization. We are going to sign a joint communiqué under the title Africa Must Industrialize, which we have shared with you later on after this meeting. Of course, the journey, colleagues, will be long and hard, but we will keep on working, keep on fighting. The UNIDO, the AUC, OSA, and the ECA will continue to support Africa on this important journey. I'm convinced that journey will be crowned with success, great success. Thank you very much.